Hello. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Maple Tree Cancer Alliance. Whether you're newly diagnosed, undergoing treatment, or in recovery, this conversation is for you. I'm Ariel, an exercise oncology educator, and today I will be talking about how to approach exercise after being diagnosed, waiting for your treatment to begin. Stick around following our conversation for some gentle movement. The information in this video is for educational purposes only, and it's important to consult with your medical care team for more in-depth guidance and advice. Let's get started. The goal here is to improve your physical and emotional well-being. This is before treatment starts. You will be stronger, healthier, and better prepared for your treatment. The goal is not necessarily to increase strength at this time, but to maintain what you have. Research also shows that being as active as possible may reduce complications from surgery and may also help you handle treatment better. Physical activity may help you deal with distress, anxiety, and have more energy, and also sleep better as you begin treatment. Why should you start exercising before treatment? It keeps your body and mind strong and sharp to help cope with the diagnosis itself, reduces the risk of complications, and it prepares your body to handle and recovery from treatment a bit easier. And also, starting out in better physical shape means you can tolerate more activity during and after treatment. If you are already active at this point, keep moving. Now is not the time to stop exercising, especially if you have a few weeks before your treatment starts. Focus on strength training to gain and maintain muscle mass. And if you're feeling well enough to continue day-to-day activities, you are well enough to maintain some sort of exercise routine. However, you might need to modify the frequency, maybe the duration, due to lots of doctor's appointments, but don't let your doctor's appointments and the stress of all of your treatment and what's coming next stop you from continuing your exercise, because it can be the one thing that keeps you going and gives you something to look forward to. If you are currently not active at this point, it is crucial to start moving. You want to avoid inactivity at all costs. Try to increase the time that you are standing, the time that you are doing chores, the time that you are moving throughout the day. You may have a few weeks before treatment starts, and research shows that you can improve your fitness and build muscle in as little as 2 weeks. Start with 5 minutes at a time and increase that duration and intensity as tolerable. Go outside for a walk if you can. If you cannot get outside, walk through the house. Aim to get that heart rate up. And some examples of some strength movements that you can do is I recommend doing 2 to 3 sets of 10 bicep curls. So grabbing some hand weights, coming all the way down, all the way up. And I recommend 10 reps of 2 to 3 sets, doing some sit to stands. We're going to stand all the way up and sit all the way back down, coming up and down. And lastly, doing a shoulder press, grabbing those hand weights or just body weight. And we are pressing up overhead and coming back down, pressing overhead and coming back down. Again, I recommend starting slow and short duration, and then gradually increase as tolerable. As you consider an exercise routine, it's important to know that there are recommended guidelines for those with cancer. You want to aim for at least 150 minutes to 300 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity aerobic exercise. And I do want to note here that as you start treatment, you want to aim more for that low to moderate intensity exercise, as it's better for your immune system and immune function. Strength training 2 times a week, targeting all major muscle groups. This is your arms, your shoulders, your chest, your back, your core, and your legs. Flexibility exercises, at least 2 to 7 days per week, again, hitting all major muscle groups. If you are currently not active, you want to start short duration and gradually increase as tolerable. And it's also important to note that as you start treatment, you may need to adjust your routine around your treatment schedules, side effects of treatment, and most importantly, always listen to your body and how you feel during or before exercise, during exercise, and after. And lastly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about exercise intensity because sometimes it can be difficult to differentiate between what intensity I'm currently working at. So light intensity, you are able to sing or carry on a conversation easily. You do not break out in a sweat, and there's little to no change in heart rate. You can maintain for long periods without fatigue. Moderate intensity exercise, you can talk, but you can't sing. Your heart rate increases and you feel a little warmer with a light sweat. You breathe a little bit faster, but you're not quite out of breath. And vigorous intensity exercise, your ability to talk is difficult without grasping for a breath every couple seconds. Your breathing is deep and rapid with a significant elevated heart rate, and you can only maintain the activity for short periods before needing a break. Thank you for being a part of our conversation on exercising before starting treatment after a cancer diagnosis. I hope the information we've covered has brought you some clarity and comfort, and your health and well-being are what matters most. So please continue to take care of yourself, stay informed, and remember that hope is always present. Now let's transition into some gentle movement to further support your journey.
Hi, I'm Morgan, your exercise oncology instructor for Maple Tree Cancer Alliance. Welcome to week 10 of our low intensity strength training program. This week, we will be focusing on our upper body. Strengthening the muscles in your arms, chest, and back can help you perform daily activities with ease and maintain proper posture. We will need light weights and a wall space. As always, safety is our top priority, so remember to listen to your body and perform the exercises within your pain-free range of motion. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, we are going to get started in our warm-up for week 10. And we will start with our hands facing up, and we're going to do some supinated and pronated wrist rotations. And so we're going to face those palms down and then back up, and we're going to do this 10 times. So if you're not able to extend your arms all the way to the front, I want you to keep your elbows bent and just rotate your wrists at that point. All right, so hands out in front, and we're gonna face up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Our next warm-up movement is going to be Lou raises. And so what that is that we're going to start with our hands in front of us together like a high five. And then we're going to span out to the side, keeping our hands facing sideways and touching our thumbs. And then coming back down and then clapping our hands right in front of us. And so we are going to do a set of 10. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Next, we're going to put our hands out in front of us. You can either grab your finger or you can put your hands on top of each other. And we're going to act like we are in a plank. And so we're going to move our shoulders apart and then push them together and do some shoulder shrugs, but it is our scaps that are moving in between our back. And so we're squeezing them and then relaxing. And so hands out in front, and we're going to squeeze and relax and squeeze and relax. And we're going to do 10. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keeping those arms nice and straight, 8, 9, and 10. All right, next, we're going to grab our hands behind our back. If we aren't able to do that, I want you to just push those hands behind our back as much as possible and squeeze those shoulder blades together, pushing those hands down and opening up that chest. And we're going to hold for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and we're going to do that one more time. All right, and take those hands, push them to the floor, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and our last warm-up movement is going to be some cross-body arm stretches. And so we're going to take one arm, keeping it nice and straight, and then bending the other and having that arm in the crease of our elbow, pulling our arm across our chest, stretching out those shoulders. We're going to hold for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to switch, opposite arm, same thing across our body in that crease of our elbow of our opposite arm, and pulling towards our chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're going to do it one more time. And arm across the body, holding for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we are going to move on into our workout. So if you have your weights ready to go, I want you to grab them. If we're using a water bottle or some other type of weight, I want you to grab that too. And make sure that we have our wall space available for the second part of our workout. All right, I am going to grab just one of my weights, and I'm going to hold each end in one hand, and I'm going to raise my elbows up in front of me with my hands at a 90, almost in front of my eyes, and I'm going to bend and touch that weight or my hands to my head and then extend. So arms out in front, bending those elbows, bringing that weight to our forehead, and then relaxing. And we are going to do 2 sets of 10 of this exercise. And so this is focused on our arms and our shoulders and our triceps. If you aren't able to get your elbows up as high, I still want you to have those arms out extended and then bringing that dumbbell to your chest or wherever you're able to raise your arms to. All right, so hands on each end of the dumbbell, elbows up nice and high, bringing it to our forehead, and then extending out. That's 1, 2, nice and slow, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to let our arms rest. If you need to set that weight down, that's exactly what I want you to do. Do some shoulder rolls. And then we are going to do another set of 10. So pick up that one weight. We're going to have our hands on each end, and I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see the angles of my elbows and shoulders. And so we are up high, and we are bending those elbows, just our elbows to our head, and then extending. And we are going to do one more set of 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. We are now going to grab both weights, and what I want you to do is have each weight in each hand, and we are changing things up a little bit. Instead of doing a strict press, we are going to add a little dip and make it a push press. And so we're going to have those weights in front, at our shoulders. Our elbows are going to be facing forwards. Our feet are going to be underneath our hips. And instead of just pressing up overhead with those weights, we're going to cheat a little bit. And we're going to dip our knees just a little bit, like a quarter squat, just a little bend. And then when we straighten those knees, we're going to drive up overhead with those weights, bring those weights back down, then bend our knees again. And as we straighten, we push. And so that momentum from our knees helps us get those weights up overhead and makes it a little bit more of a dynamic movement. All right, we're going to do 2 sets of 10. So weights up at our shoulder, elbows in front, and we're going to dip and push. Bring those weights back down, dip and push. It's 2, dip, push, 3, dip, push, 4, dip, push, and 5, dip, push, and 6, dip, push, and 7, dip, push, and 8, dip, push, and 9, dip, push, and 10. All right, I want you to set those weights down, shake out those arms, do a couple shoulder rolls, and a deep breath. And I want you guys to remember with this push press, I want your arms as close to your ears as possible so that we're not out in front and we're getting that nice overhead drive of those weights. We also want to make sure that we are tucking our ribs towards our hips so that we have a nice activated core and aren't putting extra strain on our lower back. All right, so elbows in front, those weights at our shoulders, and we're bringing our ribs to our hips just a little bit, and we're going to dip and push. 1, dip, push. 2, dip, push. 3, dip, push. 4, dip, push. 5, dip, push. 6, dip, push. 7, dip, push. 8, dip, push. 9, and last one, dip and push. 10. All right. We're going to keep both those weights. If you need a lighter set of weights, I want you to have them on hand because we are going to be doing some front raises. And so these can be really challenging because they use all those little muscles in our shoulders. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lifting our arms up in front as high as we can and then back down. So we're going to that nice 90-degree angle at our shoulders and back down, keeping our core nice and tight, not leaning back, putting strain on our lower back. And we want to try and breathe through this. This can be really challenging. So hands in front, feet under hips. We're palms down and raise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Take a nice deep breath. If you need to go up in weight or lower your weights, that's exactly what I want you to do. And raise as high as you can in your pain-free range of motion. So again, we're bringing our ribs to our hips just a little bit, having soft knees so we're not locked out. And then we are just raising our arms in front to a 90-degree angle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Let's set our weights down, give our hands and arms a break, and do some shoulder rolls. All right, we have one more movement left for our weighted portion of our workout, and then we're going to move on to our wall portion. So we have our chest press left. And so this one, because we are standing, can be a little tricky, but we are going to have our elbows at our sides, and we're going to be extending our arms to the front and squeezing our chest muscles together as we push forwards. And so focusing on that chest muscle is really important to make this more of a chest press than just an extension with our arms. All right. Again, if we need lighter weights, I want you to use them, or we can even be seated if you need to sit. All right. Elbows at our sides. Our elbows are at a nice 90-degree angle, and we are pushing, squeezing our chest, and then back in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more, and 10. All right, I'm going to hold on to my weights. You can put yours down, do a couple shoulder rolls. When we're doing our chest press, it's really important to make sure our elbows are getting to full extension when we are punching out so that we get the full benefit in our chest. All right, take one deep breath. And last set of chest press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we are done with our weights, but we do need to find our wall. So I'm going to set mine down to the side, and our wall exercises are going to be a push-up and shoulder taps. So we're going to first start off with our push-up, which we want a nice neutral spine. And when we're leaning against that wall, we can either be in our toes or we can be flat foot. But the farther out you are, the harder it's going to be. And the closer you are to the wall, the easier it's going to be. I want you to focus on keeping those elbows at a nice 45, so they're not up against our rib cage, but they're also not out at a 90-degree angle either. So they're right in the middle. And focus on using those lats in the back for those big muscle movers. All right, we are going to do a set of 10. And so if you need to look to the side so that your head is out of the way and not hitting the wall, that's perfectly fine. But we're going to lower our chest, keeping everything nice and tight in a hollow, and push. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Use those shoulder blades. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's take a deep breath into that belly. And relaxing, exhaling, and one more. All right, back to our second set of 10 push-ups. If you need more of a challenge, move those feet out and really focus on using those shoulder blades to help push and keeping a nice hollow body, not letting our belly hang out. All right, and we're going to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more, and 10. All right, let's do some arm shakes and shoulder rolls. We have one more movement in our workout. We're going to be doing some shoulder taps. And so we're going to do 2 sets of 20. And so what it's going to look like is we're going to be in our plank on the wall, and we're going to alternate arm and shoulder and touch. We want to have a nice big base, so our feet are going to be a little bit farther apart. And the farther back you are in your plank, you can have flat feet or on your toes. But the farther you are, the more challenging it's going to be, or you can even move this to the floor if you would like. All right, so keeping a nice stable core and pushing against the wall, we're going to do our shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. Let's shake it out. Take a nice deep breath. Do a couple shoulder rolls. And we got one set of 20 with those shoulder taps. All right. So nice wide base. We don't want to be shifting our hips too much. We want to be nice and steady. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. Great job on our workout, and we are going to move on into our cool down. So we're going to stay with our wall and going to do a child's pose on the wall. So we're going to either put our hands on, you can also use a chair if you would like. Hands on the wall and arms extended, and we're just driving our head through, relaxing, letting gravity do its work, hinging at those hips. And we're just going to hold for about 20 seconds. And we're about 10 seconds in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. We're going to relax, and we're going to do it one more time, which you can just relax and breathe through this and just let gravity kind of push and do its work. All right. Hands on that wall. Moving those feet back, hinging at the hips, and just relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. We're going to stay on our wall still, but this movement is a little bit easier on a chair. So if you have an edge that you can put your elbows up on, I highly recommend it. All right, so we're going to do a prayer pose. And so what that's going to look like, very similar to our child pose, but we're going to put our elbows up on top of either a chair or on the wall. And we're going to push our head through and stretch out those lats so that they're nice and noble. And if you can't stretch super far on this, that's totally fine, but we're going to hold it for another 10 seconds, making it a total of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. All right, and we're going to do this one more time. If you're not able to get super far, that's totally fine. Just working on that flexibility in our lats and opening up those shoulders is really helpful. All right, elbows back on that chair or wall and hinging those hips, letting our head kind of fall through. And just relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. And we are done with the wall for today, but we have 2 more movements in our cool down. So we are going to do some arm circles, and we do not need to worry about our thumb this time. We're just moving our arm, getting some movement in there, and letting that blood flow. We're going to do 10 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And then to finish off our cool down, we are going to be doing some cat-cows. So you can do this on the ground if you would like. You can also do it on the wall. I'm going to do it standing. So I'm just going to put my hands on my legs and I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together. And then I'm going to separate them and round that back and push it to the ceiling. And so we're going to do this 5 times through. And just breathe through this, let everything relax and stretch out. All right, hands on your legs and push that back to the ceiling. And then arch and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Then push it to the ceiling and squeeze. Push to the ceiling and squeeze. We got 2 more. Push to the ceiling and squeeze. And 1 more. Push your back to the ceiling and squeeze those shoulders. All right, take 1 more deep breath. Thanks for joining me in week 10, and I will see you in week 11.